Have you ever been part of something that has a clear beginning, middle, and end? If so, you've likely been part of a project. My name is Rob, and I'm a pure project management instructor and pure project manager, and I've spent my career working with project teams and managing projects. Here, we're going to learn what a project is so you can identify them in your daily life. We'll explore examples of them in our professional lives, but also in our personal lives, so we can learn more about them and how to better address them. So let's jump in and see what a project is. At its simplest, a project is something we do that is temporary, that gives us a unique product, a unique service, or some other end result. Now, this is an important thing to remember because it has some very key ideas behind what a project is. First, they are temporary. They have a start and a finish date. Now, that start and finish date could be a few hours, or it could be a few decades. But the project will end. It doesn't just keep going forever. It also creates something unique or new. It might create a new house. It might create a new technology. It might create a new piece of art for the wall. Regardless, the point of the project is to deliver something that is new to the customer. And here's where it has some kind of goal. What is the project trying to accomplish? Maybe the outcome of the project is increased customer satisfaction, or maybe it's faster checkout times in a supermarket. Regardless, there is some specific target that the project is trying to accomplish. Now, when we think of projects, it's very easy only to think of very big professional ones, building a skyscraper, sending someone into space. These are very large projects. However, there are many, many projects that we are involved in on a regular basis, and we might not even know it. For example, if we ever sit down and plan a family vacation, we're essentially part of a project. That is temporary. We'll start planning and then we'll get home from the vacation. That is the project. It has a unique thing. Get the family home safely and have them out having a good time. And it has some kind of goal. Get out there and enjoy wherever you're going. There are other examples of small professional projects. Maybe you need to launch a new marketing endeavor for your company. This might not seem like a big thing, but it's unique. It's a new way to communicate with customers. It's temporary because you start planning it and then you send the emails or you buy the billboards or whatever you do. And it's got a goal. Drive more interest in whatever your organization does. So be on the lookout for projects that are closer to you and smaller than you might think. And you're going to find a lot of them. Now, we've mentioned a few unique characteristics of a project. It is both time-bound, it has a certain timeline, and it provides something unique. This is in contrast to what we call operations, or things that we do repeatedly. For example, if we have a company that has a customer support department, and they answer tickets or answer the phone, that is not a project. That is called operations. It's an ongoing effort to do something, and it doesn't end, at least until the customers are completely satisfied and stop calling in. At home, we also have operations. We have to buy groceries. We have to do laundry. We have to clean the house. So this is where operations differ from our projects. They are just ongoing. They don't have that unique aspect, and they're not time-bound. They are continuous. It can, however, be challenging to see the difference. For example, a bakery might have operations, just making cakes, and they keep making cakes every day, one after the other. But maybe one day they have a customer ask for a special cake, or maybe they decide they want to make a new kind of cake, and they have to figure out the process. They have to make the recipe and the designs and everything. Creating that new cake idea would be a project, whereas making that cake over and over and over to sell them would be the operation. Now, projects also share a number of common elements. For example, they will have some kind of objective. What is the project trying to achieve? It's very important for this to be clearly stated, as it will guide all of the work to make sure the team or individuals working on it can go achieve and obtain that goal. Projects will also have some kind of resources associated with them. They will have people who do the work. They will have dollars or budget to go buy or expense things. They will have time as a resource. When will this happen? And they will also have equipment or machinery that might be needed to accomplish the goal. They will also, however, have constraints, things that prevent the project from doing something. In the example of our bakery, maybe they don't have access to a certain machine to bake a certain type of cake, so they have to make a different choice. In the example of planning a vacation, maybe flights aren't available at certain times of the day, constraining when you can fly somewhere you want to go. And there might also be constraints around budget. Maybe certain dollars aren't available, or maybe you simply can't afford to get something that you think you need. Projects will also have stakeholders. These are individuals or groups that are impacted or interested in your project. For example, thinking about that bakery, the customers are stakeholders. They're very interested in getting the cakes and other things that the bakery creates. But the people making the cakes are also stakeholders. They're involved in that process. The owner of the bakery, maybe the local health inspector, is also a stakeholder. They'll be very interested to make sure that that bakery is safe. So there's always a stakeholder or many stakeholders in our projects who we need to keep in mind and consider when we're planning or communicating information. Projects also have milestones, which are major events that occur during its life cycle. If I'm building a house, a major milestone might be buying the land. Another major milestone might be procuring all of the supplies I need. Another one might be digging the foundation. These milestones give us a good sense of progress, but also indicate times when we've completed large chunks of work. And projects will also have a deliverable. This is what you are going to give to the customer. What do you deliver when you're done? In the case of a house, it might be the house is ready to live in. In the case of that bakery, the deliverable might be, here's your cake. So projects are all around us. I'll encourage you to think through in your organization or where you've worked in the past and see what projects you can identify that you have been working on that maybe you didn't think were projects. Sometimes this is very obvious. You're invited to join a project team. But many times we will work on projects in our professional lives and not call them projects. So by understanding what a project is, we can identify that, hey, this is a project. And then we can start to think through what tools or techniques or ideas can we apply to that project to help it be successful. Projects, however, are also in our personal lives. Think about what you do outside of work, and I'll challenge you to find a project. I can imagine there's several you might have worked on, even right now, that would be projects that you don't think are projects. And for me, these are really neat because they help us learn these skills, and we can apply skills we learn elsewhere to our personal lives to make things more successful. We can get on that family vacation. We can plan that fundraiser. We can upgrade our house. So that is a project. It is a temporary thing we do to get a unique outcome that has a very specific goal. And again, projects show up in our personal and our professional lives. They differ from operations because they have that time limit and a unique thing, whereas operations are just continuous and they keep doing the same thing over and over and over. So take a minute to think, what projects have you worked on that maybe you didn't think were projects? And let us know in the comments. I'm curious to see what you are up to that is actually a project. Also, share your questions about projects or project management or any of the skills that you think are related to it, and we'll be happy to answer. And of course, like and subscribe. It really helps us know what you like about these videos so we can make more of them for you. Thank you so much for learning with me, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you in another one of these videos soon.